Your body remembers things your mind has stopped trying to explain, like the exact feeling of an arm pulling away too soon, like the difference between being touched and being held. You felt that difference more times than you can count, even if you never had words for it until right now. Think about the moments you needed comfort most. A hard day, a loss, a fear you couldn't explain out loud, and instead of someone pulling you close and just staying there, you got a quick pat on the back. A "you'll be fine," a hug that ended the second it started, like holding on too long would somehow be too much to ask for. So you learned to let go first, before anyone else had the chance to. You probably don't even remember deciding this. It just happened, slowly, over years of moments where comfort came fast and shallow instead of slow and real. An arm around your shoulder that lasted exactly as long as it needed to look right, not as long as you actually needed it to feel like something. And somewhere in that pattern, you quietly adjusted your expectations to match what you were actually given. Here's what's actually happening underneath that ache. Physical comfort isn't just a nice gesture. It's a language your body understands, before your mind even catches up. A long, steady hug tells your nervous system something words can't. It says, "You are safe. You are held. You don't have to carry this alone right now." When that language was missing growing up, your body learned to keep carrying everything by itself. This doesn't mean nobody loved you. That's worth sitting with for a second. Maybe the people around you cared deeply, but never learned how to show it through touch. Maybe affection wasn't modeled for them either, so they passed down the same brief, awkward comfort they were given. Nobody handed them a script for holding on longer, so they gave you what they knew, which wasn't nothing, but it also wasn't quite enough. And that gap, between what you needed and what you got, doesn't just disappear once you grow up. It follows you quietly into every relationship you have now. You might notice you crave physical closeness in a way that almost embarrasses you. A hug that lasts a few extra seconds can make your eyes sting without warning, and you don't fully understand why something so small hits so hard. Pause here for a second. Think about the last time someone held you a little longer than usual. Not the words around it, just the feeling. A kind of exhale you didn't know you were holding on to. That reaction isn't dramatic. It isn't oversensitive. It's your body finally getting a small taste of something it's been quietly starving for. This shows up in ways you might not have connected before. You might find yourself pulling away first from hugs, even good ones, because staying in one for too long feels unbearably vulnerable. You might feel a strange discomfort receiving affection, even while craving it desperately, because wanting to be held for a long time feels like admitting a need you learned to hide a long time ago. Or maybe it shows up the opposite way. You hold on to hugs a little too long now, without meaning to, and you feel slightly embarrassed afterward, like you gave away something you weren't supposed to show. Either way, the same wound sits underneath it. A body that never quite got enough of something it desperately needed, still trying to make up for lost time in small, quiet ways. You might also notice this shows up outside of physical touch entirely. You crave being checked on without having to ask. You crave someone noticing you're struggling before you have to explain it. All of this wears different clothes, but it's the same underlying need. To be held, in every sense of the word, without having to perform, justify, or ask for it first. Here's the part that's hard to sit with. This was never really about hugs. Hugs are just the most physical shorthand for something bigger. What you were actually missing was the feeling of being fully, completely held, emotionally and physically, without having to earn it first. A hug is just your body's way of naming an entire experience it never got enough of. The people who were supposed to give you that, back then, can't go back and give it to you now. That version of the moment is gone. But something else is still available to you. You can learn to receive it fully when someone offers it today, instead of flinching out of old habit. And you can start giving pieces of it to yourself, in the meantime, without waiting for anyone's permission. The next time someone hugs you and you feel the urge to pull back first, try staying a few seconds longer. Let your body feel what it's like to be held, without an exit plan already running in the background. It will feel strange at first, maybe even uncomfortable. That discomfort isn't a warning sign. It's just unfamiliar territory, and unfamiliar was never the same thing as unsafe. You can also give yourself smaller versions of that comfort in private. Wrapping your arms around yourself when things feel heavy, a hand over your own chest, just breathing there for a second. It might feel silly at first, but your body doesn't know the difference between comfort you receive and comfort you offer yourself. Both send the same signal underneath. You are not alone in this moment. Some days the old habit will win. You'll still pull away first, still feel that flicker of embarrassment when someone holds on longer than expected. That's not failure. That's just a pattern that took years to build, quietly rebuilding itself in smaller and smaller doses. It doesn't ask for permission to loosen. It just does, slowly, the more proof you give it. What you were waiting for was never really about the hug itself. It was about being fully seen and held without having to ask twice. That ache was never proof that something is wrong with you. It was proof that some part of you never stopped hoping to be comforted properly, and that hope is still worth listening to, even now, even later than you expected.